Now a straddle is an option strategy which is a volatility play. And that V for volatility is a very useful thing to remember because it does actually give you your net payoff from this strategy. What you're going to do here, you're going to use options exclusively. You're not going to have any position in S, the spot underlying asset. You're going to use options exclusively. You're going to buy a call. That gives you the exposure to the upside. And we go above the strike. And we're going to buy a put as well with the same expiry and the same strike. That will give us upside as we go below the strike. Okay, so that gives us this V for volatility payoff. Now both of these options, we're long both of these options. When you buy both of these options and take a long position in both of them, that's called a long straddle. Profits from high volatility. The idea is if the underlying shoots off to the right, the call pays out. If the underlying shoots off to the left, the put pays out. Whenever you know the long side of something, you can always imagine the short side simply by turning it over. Literally turn it over, negate it. Sell a call and sell a put, that's an inverse volatility play, a short straddle. All right, that must have a payoff that is an upside down V. That will win if the underlying volatility or the volatility of the underlying is not as high as the market expects. But if volatility does pick up, you will lose under this strategy. Okay, let's have a look at a long straddle. Like I say, focus on the long side and the short side. You can just think of it as the negative. So long straddle, what are we going to do? We're going to buy a call and a put with the same expiry and the same strike. So we've got 52.5 calls here. Must have 52.5 puts as well, both June as well. Now, the first thing to do is to add up your net premium. Your net premium here is 622 for the call and 619 for the put. Add those up and you've got your total net premium of 1241. Now here's a crucial point about a straddle. Because you're long options, the worst that can happen is you lose your premiums. You can't lose any more than that. So this sum of premiums, $12.41, that's actually your maximum loss. And given that you know the overall payoff is a V for volatility, okay, your overall payoff is a V for volatility. There's your kind of flat line there. Don't forget, you know, axes are always underlying as we move to the left and right, and general sort of P&L as we go up and down. Here's your common strike in the middle. The worst case scenario is if we end up at that common strike and we lose both the premiums. The call expires just at the money and we don't get any benefit from exercising our right to buy it. In this case, it's 52.5. And the put expires just at the money as well. We don't get any benefit from our right to sell at 52.5. So that's the worst that can happen. If the underlying goes up above that point, then we start making money under the put, under the call, apologies. If the underlying goes down below that point, then we start making money under the put. So we know that this worst case position here, your maximum loss, is sum of the premiums, okay? Which we've calculated already to be 1241. Now, I did this earlier on when we were looking at basic puts, and it seems a while ago now, but module 1 I think it was, I used triangles in my payoffs to work out break-evens, maximum gains, maximum losses. One thing I should put on here before I do that is just note the point that actually there's not unlimited upside on the put, there never is, but there is still unlimited upside on the call. Because the underlying could go up forever, there's no ceiling on it, theoretically, then we do have unlimited upside on this strategy on the call side. But I guess the next question here is, what are our break-evens? What's this level here, where we have zero profit, and what's this level here, where we have zero profit? Well, like I say, seems a long time ago now, but in Module 1, we looked at triangles, finding triangles in these payoffs. We knew that every line is a 45-degree line, so any vertical distance has got to be the same as a horizontal distance in a triangle. Now, I haven't drawn it like that, but it's geometrically true, okay? I don't have to draw it like that, I'm just sketching. Now, we know that this distance, this maximum loss, is 1241. Well, because all of these triangles are right-angled 45-degree triangles, that distance there must be the same as this distance here. and that gives us this break even here. This break even is $12.41 to the left of $52.50. So this break even is $52.50 minus $12.41. Okay, so that comes out, we're looking here just above 40, aren't we? 40.09. Okay, now I got that through just the basic triangle rule. Vertical distances are the same as horizontal distances. I know I haven't sketched it like that, but that is a rule that you can use, and I would suggest you should use and must use to work out nice and easily, without remembering loads of formulae, to work out nice and easily where break-evens are. Now, by the way, there's another triangle here, right here. There's another symmetrical triangle. 1241 is the height, so 1241 must be the width as well, the horizontal distance. So when I think about my break-even on the upside here, we're looking at a break-even of 52.50 in the middle plus 1241, which is 64.91. So that's where I break even. I don't need to think, for too long about what the individual payoffs are for each option. I know through a kind of a macro view on this strategy that my maximum downside is the sum of the premiums. That happens at the bottom of the V, and then I can use triangles to work out break-evens. So that is a straddle. And you can see here that the slide is really just agreeing with our break-evens. Break-even on the call side, 52.50 plus 12.41, and break-even on the put side, 52.50 minus 12.41. I suppose another way of thinking about this is that you do need the underlying asset to move away from the strike by the sum of the premiums in order to make them back and break even. That might be a nice intuitive way of thinking about it.